did too!
Not.
Hello, I am Marco Who.
And I'm Aegon Who.
And welcome to our first video game review.
Now sure, we've done gaming top 10s before.
2 to be precise.
Great job, you can count. Now shut up and let me talk. So, we haven't actually done a real video game review and said like all the good things about it and the bad things about it, or said if it's good or bad or not. So, what better way to start off our first video game review than one of our favorite games in the whole universe, The Legend of Zelda: Skyward Sword.
I remember I waited about like a year and a half for this game to come out.
Year and a half? I waited 4 years for this.
4 years? It hasn't even been announced for 4 years. How have you been waiting 4 years?
This is the poster. You see that poster came out 4 years ago.
Yeah, I remember that.
Year and a half.
Well, it doesn't exactly matter who waited for how long. What does matter is that this game right here was more than well worth the wait, and we're here to show you why. Now let's get started.
The graphics of Skyward Sword are amazing, even for Wii standards. It looks even better than the other Wii Zelda title, Twilight Princess. Though not as realistic as Twilight Princess with its more watercolor style, the game still looks very good. Sure, it's not in HD, but that doesn't matter. This game is proof that a game doesn't need to be in high definition to look good. Although I wonder how HD would look. Well, can't wait for Wind Waker.
Even though the graphics are great, you will occasionally run into flat textures on the walls or grid lines in dark places. For me, that doesn't matter. For you, it depends on whether graphical quality and processing power is the most important thing in a game for you. But I'm guessing if that's the case, you probably don't even own a Wii in the first place.
Also, the animations in the game are good. Nintendo doesn't use motion capture like a lot of games do, so they aren't the best you'll ever see, but they still are very good. Even the facial expressions and the way the other characters move just make the game feel more alive than almost any of the other Zelda games. The only other game in the series that might give this game's liveliness a run for its money is Wind Waker.
The last thing in this category that I think needs to be discussed is the audio of this game. Again, there is no voice acting, which people tend to crab about, but I can see why they don't have it. The game has you name Link whatever you want, and the characters in the game are going to say his name, whatever you name him. So if it was going to have voice acting and still keep the naming function, it would have to be like the Elder Scrolls games, where you can name the character, or like name Link what you want, but then the NPCs can't say your name.
Unless there is some sort of way that the characters can say your name in their voice, which is possible, but pretty hard to do.
Right. Another thing worth mentioning is the music. The music in Skyward Sword is orchestrated, and most of it sounds amazing. I don't remember really any of the dungeon themes though, but let's face it, who does?
Wait, stop right there. There is one dungeon theme that's embedded in my mind forever that will give me nightmares every time I hear it.
What is it?
You'll agree with me on this one.
What?
The Forest Temple theme from Ocarina of Time.
Oh god, the memories! The memories! Stop the memories! But other than that, the game's soundtrack is very good. It might even rival my personal favorite Zelda soundtrack, which is, again, Wind Waker's. So, with great visuals and plus great music and audio, this category gets a thumb up. Gameplay is almost still the same as before. You go through a dungeon, solve puzzles, defeat evil monsters, and fight baddies. However, the way that you're doing it this time around is different. Instead of your horse named Epona, or a talking boat called the King of Red Lions, you have a bird to fly around in the sky with, named Birdie.
Actually, for your information, the official name for that bird is called a loftwing.
I don't care. I'm calling it a birdie.
Ugh, whatever. So also some additions have been made to the game to make things feel better while playing it. One of the most notable additions is called the stamina meter. It basically allows you to dash and run, and all this stuff we'll explain a little later. And it makes Link go faster without having to do a somersault, though you still can do a somersault.
What about the bunny ears from Majora's Mask?
Well, those make him look ridiculous. Another addition to this game is the upgrade system. You can upgrade almost any of the items at least twice, though some only allow you to upgrade them once. You start the game off with the weakest form of the weapon, you upgrade it once, it becomes better. Upgrade it again, it becomes the best version of that weapon or item in that game.
Also, another addition in the game comes with the new dash system. When Link is dashing toward a wall, he can actually do a 2-step vertical wall run. Oh, Link, you are such a Persian.
Actually, he's a Hylian.
You know what I mean! There's also one thing that I almost forgot that is new, and that is dowsing. At certain parts in the game, you will have to go dowsing for things in the game, whether it's for collectibles or for people. It's kind of like metal detecting, but you're detecting more than just metal.
If there's anything that would be a negative in this area, it'd be a lot of the gameplay mechanics are motion-based because of the Wii Motion Plus, but we'll go over that just a little later. Like if you want to swing your sword one way, you swing it another, that kind of stuff. So, and it's just kind of some minor stuff, but anyways, for gameplay, we would give gameplay 1 thumb up. The story this time around is very well told. Sure, Link has to go save Zelda's butt again, however, this time, get this, you actually care about Zelda, because Link is Zelda's childhood friend. The basic plot is that on the day of the wing ceremony in Skyloft, which is an annual occasion to recognize a student of the Knight Academy as an official knight, kind of like a graduation thing, this year the student to become the knight is, surprise surprise, Link. To celebrate, he and Zelda, who is his childhood friend like I said, go riding on their loft wings after Link and to get his sailcloth.
You mean birdies?
Shut up! They're called loft wings. Anyway, while the cute couple is enjoying their lovely ride in the sky, Zelda gets knocked off her loft wing by a weird tornado, and is taken to the land below, which is pretty much Hyrule in its early days. Link tries to save her, but he is unsuccessful, and when he wakes up in the Knight Academy, he sees this spirit-looking girl, and decides to follow her. She takes him to the statue of the goddess, where he pulls out the goddess sword. The spirit then reveals to him that she herself is the spirit of the goddess sword, named Fi. Fi tells Link he must descend to Hyrule, which is referred to as the land below in this game, but you just call it Hyrule anyways, and you go to save Zelda. Link then informs the Academy's headmaster. He then dons the signature green attire, and then he goes off on his adventure.
Nice summarization. Alright, now let's go on to the main characters, starting with our main stud, Link. In my opinion, this Link is the best Link in the series. Why? Because he's the first Link, I don't know if there's going to be any future Links like this, but he's the first Link to actually have a full personality and some feeling. Sure, he's, again, a mute.
Wrong! He speaks in this scene!
Okay, so maybe he can talk, even if he can't exactly hear him. But you can still see what he is feeling and also what he's going through. There are 2 scenes in particular that show this for me. These are spoilers, so if you don't want to see this part, jump straight to the next section. One of these scenes is when Zelda blesses the Master Sword. The conversation that follows is pretty much Zelda telling Link how sorry she was for involving him into the war, and then she seals herself into an amber-like crystal. Link sees what she is about to do, and he actually runs up to her, and he's trying to break the crystal to try to get her out because he doesn't really want to lose her. And I thought that this scene was really touching because it showed me how much Link actually cares for his friends and loved ones. The other scene is when Link seals demise by wishing it to the Triforce and Zelda reawakens. Here, Zelda, Link, and a new character named Groose all reunite. But then, plot twist! Girahim shows up and pushes Zelda and Link away from each other. He grabs Zelda and starts telling Link about stuff that's going to happen. Link is getting very angry at this point. Then, when Girahim teases Link about his quest to get in the way, Link just snaps and draws out his sword. This shows how how much Link has bottled up inside him and what would happen if he let all that explode. Now, before I give it over to Aegon to talk about Zelda herself, I will say that this scene would have been more powerful if Link had actually charged at Girahim and tried killing him with the Master Sword, and then Girahim could have teleported with his diamond thingies. So.
Well, it is Nintendo, and they love to make everything kid-friendly.
So, the game series Kingdom Hearts has parts where the main character Sora gets so angry that he tries killing the main villains in the game. And that game was made by Disney. It also has Disney characters in it. Which ones? The ones that you and I watched when we were about 3 years old.
True enough. Now, I am going to talk about this game's version of Zelda. In Skyward Sword, Zelda is not a princess. In fact, she's something better than a princess. When I say better, I mean way better. Also, Zelda is a very fun character to get to know in the game. In other games, she was just very bland, serious, and a boring person. Now she is very fun, high-spirited character. This is what makes people actually care about what happens to her. You feel that you're going to save someone who is actually worth saving in this game, even if she does push Link off a cliff. Also, something very interesting is that at the beginning of Skyward Sword, Zelda is sticking up a lot for Link. It's as if Zelda is saving Link. I'm also going to quickly go over the main supporting people too. One of them is Groose. He's kind of like a bully to Link at the beginning, but he follows Link down to the surface towards the middle of the game and becomes kind of a nice guy. When we have the Servant of the Goddess, also known as Impa, she saves Zelda from the imprisonment and tells her about her being way better than a princess, like the incarnation of the goddess and stuff. And we also can't leave out Fi. Fi is Link's sidekick in this game, and she's pretty much the feminine spirit of C-3PO or something.
Oh, fancy that! Now I'm going to talk about the villains in this game. Our first villain is Girahim. Even if this guy isn't on the straight side of things, if you know what I mean, this guy is probably one of, if not the best villain in Zelda history. I have two reasons for this. One, he was able to make me hate him, in a good way. Not only do I hate him, Link hates him too. This guy was actually able to make Link so sick with anger that Link actually snaps when he's had enough of that. Where were you on that one, Ganondorf? Huh? Huh? My next reason for him being the best is he actually succeeds at his goal. His goal was just to break Demise's seal and release him on the world. And he does it. Now that brings us to Demise himself. At first he looks kind of like a whale-ish thing on 2 feet and is covered in scales, but later he looks somewhat human-looking with fire-like hair. And as powerful as this guy is, I still like Girahim better.
And just a little fun fact that I just want to throw out. I kind of read up a little bit on Demise, just kind of know a little bit more about him and stuff. And one thing I found out is that Demise looks different to each person that views him. We saw Link's version of Demise, so we saw him how Link viewed him. To me, he looked completely different than how Marco would see him, or anyone else.
I'd probably see him as a manatee.
Just I guess a little fun fact to throw out there you probably didn't know. All in all, great story, great characters. This category gets thumbs up. This is the part of the review where we talk about the other things in the game, like the controls, the replay value, and who would like this game. Now let's start off with the controls. As many gamers or Zelda fans know, Skyward Sword requires the Wii Motion Plus accessory. You use it to swing Link's sword, aim his bow and use his other weapons and items, and to fly his Loftwing.
Birdie, if you say Birdie one more time, I swear you will not have a face or a life to say Birdie again with. You understand me?
Okay, calm down.
Good boy. The Motion Plus does other things too, like when skydiving you can aim where Link will land, and your menu controls are also motion based. But those 3 to 4 things are your main uses for the motion controls. Anything else you want to say, Marco?
Sure, the motion controls I thought were very good, even though you only had 8 slashes with the sword. The motion controls made me, even though you had those 8 slashes, the motion controls made me more into the game. Even more so than the Wii version of Twilight Princess. Want proof? Here's me playing Twilight Princess.
Die, you stupid piranha plants. I mean, Deku Babas, or whatever they call you in Zelda.
Marco, what are you playing?
Playing Twilight Princess, you want to play?
No, I'm good. You can continue.
Fine.
Okay.
Ganondorf, I hate you!
And this is me playing Skyward Sword.
Son!
Marco, what in the name of Reggie's Philisami are you wearing?
What are you talking about? I'm Link.
No, you're not. There are 2 reasons. 1, Link wears green, you're wearing red. And 2, Link doesn't talk.
Well, excuse me, Princess.
Fine, just at least just don't go out in public like that, will you?
Fine! And if you thought that was silly, then you've obviously never seen me play a Wii Sports Resort.
However, there is a problem with the motion controls. Since this uses the Motion Plus, the controls will goof up on you from time to time when you're playing. Now you're probably thinking, okay, well, I'll just recalibrate the controller with the down button on the D-pad. Well, you could if the makers didn't put the Phi icon there. So if you try to recalibrate the controller, you will instead put the sword away, and Phi will ask you if you need something. You say no, and you find that you get the sword back out, and you'll find that it still isn't lined up right. You try to recalibrate the cursor on the map, but the sword isn't lined up. Then I tried doing it with the weapons, recalibrating those, but the sword still wasn't lined up right. So long story short, I ended up having to press the home button on the Wii remote to get to the Wii home selection. Then I had to turn off my controller, reawaken my controller, then I had to go back through the calibration test, and then I was good to go. Now, this doesn't happen all the time, so it won't ruin gameplay that much, but when it does, it's annoying. That's why I like Twilight Princess's motion controls better. They never goofed up on you, and it also felt good to swing the sword when you were running in that game, because you can't do it in this game. Other than that, good controls.
And surprisingly enough, that only happened to Marco. It didn't happen to me, so I never experienced that.
Yeah, that's just my bad luck.
Now, on to replay value. The Zelda games have always been good with replay value.
Except for maybe Zelda 2.
Yeah, well, anyways, this game has a lot of side quests that you can do, too. As whether it is getting someone steroids for a workout, giving someone a love letter so that they can use it as toilet paper, or just collecting gratitude crystals in general. There's a lot of things for you to do.
Not as much as, say, Skyrim,
Well,
but there is still a lot.
Yeah, well, Skyrim, there technically is no end because there's infinite amounts of side quests. You could say. Yeah. Well, and if you're probably looking around 50 hours into this game for just the main story quest alone. And there's probably more if you do all the side quests.
Sheesh, that is long.
If you think that's long, you should see my Twilight Princess walkthrough. I've got over 160 hours in that.
Yeah, well, now as to who would like this game. If you're the type of person who likes puzzle-solving games, fantasy, and action-adventure games, you're probably going to like this. if you're a Zelda fan, you will most definitely probably like this game. Yeah, whatever. Or don't correct me. And if you don't like this game, you always have Ocarina of Time to go to. And if you don't have Ocarina of Time, then you're not a Zelda fan, but you're a phony. And if you're not a Zelda fan, but you've been meaning to get into the series and you just so happen to have a Wii, go get this game. You're probably gonna like it. But make sure you have Motion Plus though, because you kind of need that. So good controls and tons of replay value gets this category a thumb up.
Now for the recap. We got presentation, thumb up. Story, thumbs up. And gameplay, thumbs up. And miscellaneous, thumbs up.
We give The Legend of Zelda Skyward Sword 4 thumbs up out of 4 thumbs up because we don't have a 5th thumb.
And now, let's go to what our next review will be.
Alright, you got the chart?
Yes.
Alright.
Okay.
Well, that was embarrassing.
Okay.
There we go.
Just spin it. Read that ball.
N42.
N42.
Ooh.
Assassin's Creed Embers.
Oh, cool. This is like a CG, like a 30-minute CG movie about what happened to Ezio after Revelations.
I actually enjoyed that, so
I like it too.
that'll be some fun.
Yeah. So it's probably gonna be short, but see you guys next time for that.
And we'll see you guys in our next review and video. And don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe to this video if you liked it, and add it to your favorites. I'm kind of rambling on right now and losing my breath because I don't know what to say at the end of a video.
And don't take drugs, kids. It's bad for you. Bye.